How to squat, plus sets, reps, and squat depth. The setup, let's squat. So get your hands in a comfortable position where it's nice and easy on your shoulders as well. If you have limited mobility, you can go much wider as long as you're on even distance on the bar. Once you've got your grip, place the bar comfortably on your back. Wrap the bar around your back by pulling with your hands. That will keep you nice and tight. Lock your knees out and take 2 to 3 steps back. Feet parallel or slightly out. Dig your feet into the ground and twist your feet out without your feet moving. That will generate some torque in your legs and hips for greater explosive power. Big breath in and brace your core, sucking in your stomach as if you're about to be punched in the gut. Lower quickly, but in control, hinging at the hips and knees simultaneously. The bar path should be vertical. Squat as low as you like, more on that later. Drive your knees out and feet into the ground to power up. Breathe out on your way up. For more reps, keep your position, stay tight, breathe in, brace your core, and squat. When you're ready to re-rack, make sure that you can just walk straight back into the rack at ease and rest your bar on the J-hooks. Set up the J-hooks so that they are slightly lower than shoulder height for an easy takeoff. Put on your spotter arms at a height just below your deepest squat level. No pad. The only thing it's good for is for hitting anyone that is using the pad. But in all seriousness, if you need to use the pad because it is a barrier from you squatting, whether it's discomfort, pain, then definitely use the pad, do your squats. It's far better to squat than not to squat. But it will eventually limit your potential. Then you need to get used to the feel of the steel. Choose high bar or low bar squat. So that's just with the position on your back where the bar is positioned. If you are doing a high bar squat, typically you'll be more vertical, knees will hinge a lot more, you'll probably feel it on your quads a bit more. A low bar squat will have a greater hip hinge, recruiting more muscles from your hips, generating more explosive power for your squat. Belt or no belt. A belt will give you extra support all around the abdomen and it will help you brace your core. You'll feel a lot more confident when you're squatting. A little bit more support on your back. It's good to get a mixture of belt and no belt squats. To knee sleeve or not to knee sleeve, it's down to you. If you feel comfortable with knee sleeves on, wear them. They may not help you necessarily squat more, but you may have more confidence in going to greater depth, handling a heavier weight for a heavy single. You may recover quicker between sets and reps. Probably a really good investment. Footwear. Running trainers, not the best thing for weightlifting, but if you are just starting off, then the weight will be light. But as soon as you start to feel the ankle rolling when you're increasing the weight on your squats, deadlift and lunges, that's when you need to chuck them and get a pair of proper training shoes. Solid flats. So these offer a firmer base for greater stability and support around the ankle. Does not offer a lot of support for plyometric training, running and jumping. They are better for deadlifts than squats because the heel is nice and flat and low to the ground. But you can make them better for squats by putting your heel on top of a plate to elevate. Squat shoes or Metcons that I've got here, they offer a stable and wider base for greater stability. The heels are elevated as well to take away the pre-stretch on your legs to allow for greater range of motion in your knees and hips. The squat shoes are not great for running, jumping or plyometric training, but the Metcons are designed to be good at both. That's why they're used in the CrossFit games, because they do a lot of running, jumping, lifting. Now for the great squat depth debate. Keeping your hip crease above the top of your knees for a partial squat is okay if that's what you can do. It is by far better than doing nothing. You can go a lot heavier on that squat as well because of the limited range of motion, and it's great for developing explosive power for jumps in your sport. It will predominantly hit the quads more. Hip crease below the top of the knee for a powerlifting squat. It is by far better for bragging rights, as it is the gold standard for squat depth in most gyms. It is better for hypertrophy, as you will be recruiting more muscles from your hips and legs, being your glutes, your abductors, adductors, quads, hamstrings, and calves. This is an essential depth for powerlifting. Arse to grass, the Olympic weightlifting squat. This squat gets a very deep stretch as you'll be going mostly to your fullest range of motion possible. It's great for hypertrophy as you will be getting that great stretch. You won't be able to lift as much weight as you would do on the powerlift squat or even the partial squat. This depth is essential for a heavy Olympic clean or snatch. So which depth is the best? Well, that completely depends on your preference, how you enjoy squatting, what your goals are, whether do powerlifting if you want to improve your explosiveness in your sport, or whether you want to do Olympic weightlifting. If your goal is hypertrophy and building as much muscle as possible, then you'll be looking at going arse to grass or at least the powerlifting standard. There is nothing wrong with doing partial squats. As long as you're squatting, you're going to get strong and build muscle. Sets, reps, and frequency for strength training. You will get stronger no matter how you squat, as long as you select a challenging weight that is difficult for the last 3 to 5 reps. Squats could vary in style, from doing high bar squat, low bar squat, front squats, overhead squats. You might do belt or no belt squats. You might do Hatfield squats, lunges, or even split squats. A simple method for getting stronger in your squat would be to train your squat 2 to 3 times per week, doing at least 3 to 5 straight sets of the same weight. And if you can complete all the sets and reps, you can increase the weight by 2.5 kilograms next time you come back to it. Alternatively, you can complicate things a little bit more by throwing in some heavy singles. Train your squats 2 to 3 days per week, and on one of those days, you're going to ramp up your squat to a heavy single at an RPE between 7 and 9. Then you're going to perform a heavy set of 3 to 5 reps at an RPE between 7 and 9, followed by 1 to 4 back off sets with 70 to 85% of your estimated 1 rep max. For hypertrophy, you will grow muscle no matter what you do with your squat, as long as you select a challenging weight that is difficult for the last 3 to 5 reps. For bodybuilding, your squats can vary away from the traditional squat, but still include it in your program. You could do Hatfield squats, hack squats, pendulum squats, Smith machine, hack squats, goblet squats, lunges, split squats, Bulgarian split squat. You can keep it simple with 2 to 6 straight sets of the same weight for 5 to 20 repetitions. If you hit your target reps for all your sets, then you can increase the weight next time. You can complicate things with RP training. Do a set at RP 7, then a set at RP 8, then a set at RP 9. 1 rep in reserve. Strip 5 to 15% of the weight off the bar and perform 1 to 4 back off sets, trying to keep your RP between 6 and 9. Get better at your squats with me at lewisgunn.com.